Good evening and welcome to a Sagamore Conference battle tonight at Tri-West, home of the Bruins. As the Bruins come in with a record of 2-1, they face the Hot Dogs of Frankfort, who are 0-3, searching for win number 1 on the season. Along with Bill Finland, I'm John Herrick. Thank you so much for being with us on the IHSAA Sports Network. And our broadcast tonight brought to you in part by Pro Team Wellness. We're changing how first responders, athletes, and adults receive and participate in mental wellness. That is Pro Team Wellness. Well, Bill, let's start with Frankfort. You know, their opposing teams have had a combined record of 8-2, so they're 0-3, but they played a pretty tough schedule so far. What do you think has to go their way tonight if they're going to get their first win of the season?
Yeah, John, they've played a competitive schedule, but they don't have anything to show for it at this point in time. So there's nothing like winning to get you some confidence. So they've got to break. This is a game that I'm sure they feel like it's time to break through. They've got to break through and get a win tonight, and we'll see if they can do it.
As for Tri-West, 2-1 on the season. They've got 6 seniors leading them, and that's a big reason why they're so in sync right now.
They are they have broken through. So what happens when you're this early in the season, you start to figure out what your identity is, and if winning is part of that, the confidence just goes through the roof. So both teams, it's still early. We're just at the front end of December, and this is the time of year where you're just trying to figure out, okay, where are we going to get our scoring from? Where are we going to get our rebounding from? Who's going to provide the leadership that we need at crucial moments in the game? And teams that are winning can usually define that a little bit easier.
Frankfort has won this game 14 out of the last 26 times over the last 35 years. They were the ones that beat Tri-West last year, 66-43, back on December 9th a year ago, as Tri-West tries to reverse that trend here tonight. When we come back, we'll have starting lineups and the tip-off from Tri-West. You are watching high school basketball on the IHSAA Sports Network.
Former WNBA star Katie Douglas Poe is now the owner of fitness franchises that help people get healthier and more active. And even though she comes from the world of elite athletics, Katie's favorite customers are the ones pursuing modest goals. We're proud to provide her with that same kind of personal support and individual attention to her finances, which is why, when it comes to her banking, Katie is a farmer. The Farmers Bank. Let's grow.
Frankfort Eagles 976 has bingo every Wednesday night. Early birds beginning at 6 p.m. and regular bingo starting at 7 p.m. Packets are $25 and includes every game you need to play. They also have Saturday bingo the first Saturday of every month, with early birds starting at 4 p.m. and regular bingo starting at 5 p.m. Big game payouts each game with 3 to 4 chances to win different jackpot games each day. Great for individuals or groups because everyone enjoys winning lots of money. You must be 18 years or older to play.
Pro Team Tactical at first was a company about rehab. It was about getting the point of injury to getting these men and women back to work.
We wanted to provide the same level of health care and access to firefighters that athletes are experiencing from middle school all the way to professional level.
We're getting our firefighters better care, and we're getting them back to what they signed up to do. They signed up to be firefighters.
We want to go to work. We don't want to be off. We don't want to be at home. We don't want to be sitting on the couch. We want to go to work.
They're getting seen quickly. They're getting the best care, the best equipment.
They built this beautiful facility out here at our IMPD Training Academy. When the officers come in here, we've got our brand and our logo everywhere. So their full focus, they're not sitting around waiting to engage with IMPD. They are immersed in IMPD and they are part of our family.
We plan on servicing all fire departments, all EMS, all police departments throughout the state of Indiana.
They're just about to announce the starting lineups here at Tri-West as they get ready to play the Frankfort Hot Dogs. A little bit more about both of these teams. Tri-West off to a 2-1 start. Last year they finished 12-13. They scored 54 points a game and they allowed 56. And so already this year they're scoring 64 points a game and allowing 61. So they've improved a little bit on offense, still a little bit behind on defense where they'd like to be. They have a 75 55 win over Cascade in their opener, then lost to Plainfield 83-57, and then bounced back on December 1st last Friday at Western Boone with a 59-46 win. As for Frankfort, losses to Clinton Prairie, Tipton, and Western. Western, their most recent defeat, that was probably the most heartbreaking. They lost that one 69-66 this past Saturday. As you look at the Frankfort starters, they are Edwin Wayne Scott, a 6-foot senior forward, Doug Wood, a 6'1 senior forward, Kai Kirby, a 5'10 senior guard, Carson Hale, a 5'10 sophomore guard, and Isaac Adams, a 6'3 junior forward. Frankfort is coached by Rick Schul. He is 0-3 in his first year at Frankfort, and he has been coaching for 5 years with a record of 31-64 in his 5th year overall. Been a pretty special night at Tri-West. They had a moment where the girls teams got to come out and bring a teacher with them that they think highly of, and they got to be honored with the teachers in between the boys and girls games. Congratulations to the Tri-West girls, by the way. They won earlier tonight over Frankfort 62-20, and well,
you know, next time they do that, I want to make sure that they announce what the teachers teach, because you and I were sitting up here trying to eyeball the teachers and try to figure out, okay, is that a math teacher or a English teacher?
Well, one of them approached me afterwards and said they somehow know Greg Rakestraw, which shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody from ISC, because I think Greg Rakestraw knows just about everybody, doesn't he?
He does. He's the guru of Indiana sports.
He sure is, and a big part of what we do here at the ISC Sports Network. So Tri-West really setting the mood nice here, bringing out their starters. They dim the lights, and they let the starters get to have their moment in the spotlight as they come out. So those starters for Tri-West are Jimmy Sorgi, a 6'2 senior guard, averaging 10 points and 4 assists per game. Drew Miller, 6-foot senior guard, averaging 14 points and 5 rebounds. And then you've got Max Robertson, a 6'2 senior guard, averaging 16 points and 4 rebounds a game. Wes Ward, a 6'8 junior forward, averaging 6 points and 2 rebounds. Landon Gardner, 6'4 senior forward, averaging 7 points and 4 rebounds a game. Tri-West is coached by Jay Doan, who is 14-14 in his second year at Tri-West. Wes Ward jumps it up against Edwin Wayne Scott. So Frankfort is the team in dark blue jerseys on your screen. Tri-West is in their home whites. Referee puts the ball in the air. We are underway.
That's cool. They turn the lights off, and then they get to do their rehearsed handshakes and all of that kind of stuff. I've had guys that were better at doing the handshakes than remembering the play.
Funny how that worked, wasn't it? Drew Miller at the top of the key, swinging it right to Gardner, who lets go of a 3. And rebound tracked down by Edwin Wayne Scott. Frankfort with their first possession. So positive start for the Frankfort defense. 0-3 so far, but came close last time. Tri-West in a zone to begin things. Hale gives it back up to Kirby, and he sets up the offense.
I think they just showed you that zone a little bit, but they're man-to-man.
Yep.
Tried to trick you with that, John.
They did. Shot fake by Hale, and then he decides to pass it away. Also feels like these two teams are a bit contrasting styles to start. Frankfort a little more patient. Tri-West likes to push. Frankfort got the look they want, and they get a foul out of it as Isaac Adams is fouled inside.
Patient is the word. A good post entry, good drop step. Put his body right on him and was able to draw the contact for the foul.
Wes Ward picks that up. And Isaac Adams to the line where he is able to knock down that one. Frankfort scoring 55 points a game and giving up 60. They scored 50 points a game last year, so they're off to a little bit of a better start offensively as he got them both. Tri-West back on the attack. Robertson creates and scores. And Robertson is the leading scorer for Tri-West. He was that last year. He averaged 17 a game, already averaging 16, and Tri-West tries to amp up the pressure.
It's a nice little pull-up on balance Great touch to roll that one in.
Kirby thought he had the touch on that one, but put it up too hard. Robertson the other way. Robertson with the spin. And the rebound into the hands of Carson Hale. Tri-West student section trying to make some noise here. These two teams, not only conference rivals, but, you know, even if they weren't conference rivals, they would still be rivals in a way. They're not far from each other.
Pretty close. These kids probably know each other a little bit, play in the summers, that sort of stuff. A little bit of a bragging rights opportunity here.
Also a lot of returners off of last year's team for both sides. Carson Hale didn't like what he saw, so he sent it back out to Doug Wood. Well, if you're tracking time of possession in basketball, Frankfort's definitely winning that statistic. Doug Wood at the line looking for help. Finally gets it from Wayne Scott. And already Coach Rick Schul for Frankfort looking to the bench. He's going to put in Alex Farley and Jay Strode at the next dead ball.
Well, John, they are not in a hurry.
Nope.
But they're also not holding it.
And that goes off the fingertips for the game's first turnover. Doug Wood couldn't quite handle it, and there are those substitutions that come in that I just told you about. Carson Hale and Isaac Adams sit down for Frankfort.
Very deliberate by Frankfort, really probing, but you still got to get a shot on these possessions.
Pass it backside, Robertson, and Robertson's there. He has scored all 4 Tri-West points early on. And then the kick by Jimmy Sorgi as he tries to get the steal.
Robertson's a very bouncy player. You can just tell he is in attack mode on the offensive end.
Kirby walks it up. Gives to Wood, who's met by Robertson. Left-hand drive, Kirby, whistle, shot up, and they count that plus the foul, much to the chagrin of the Tri-West fans here.
Well, Kirby's proven himself to be a capable scorer already this year, and he's able to get Frankfort's second bucket and a capper, hopefully.
Drew Miller is guilty of that foul. Kirby makes the free throw. Frankfort, for the first time, has the lead. 3 by Kellen Dakin, who just checked in. So both teams have subbed early, and we're not even halfway through the first quarter. Dakin misfiring on that 3. Frankfort capitalizes on the other side as Alex Farley converts. 4 different Frankfort players have scored so far. A 3 by Gardner, and Gardner knocks down the triple from the right corner. Or they say his toe was on the line, so it's a 2.
Great penetration and kick right there. Those are the best threes when the ball's going inside out.
And Kirby with a nice attack on the other side. The Frankfort fans that made the trip applaud his efforts. Robertson steps into a 3. Rebound off the bounce to Farley. Farley pushed for a moment, but then waited until his teammates got back. Stripped out by Sorgi, and it stays with Frankfort. And Farley triggers the inbound. What do you think of the game plan Frankfort came out with, Coach?
Well, you know, they had those possessions early where they really took their time, but the last couple possessions they've shot it a little bit quicker with success.
This time a 3, knocked down.
Good inside-out 3 right there. They have put the ball on the interior of the defense to score or to pass it back out, and I like that as a plan.
And Doug Wood knocks down that shot. 12-6 Frankfort. Well, Coach Jay Doan of Tri-West said we had a good week of practice, but it doesn't mean anything if you can't put it together during the game. And Gardner misfires on that, but an offensive rebound by Robertson. Sorgi has to hold it up. Frankfort active on the defensive side, and Robertson again, this time nails it. 6 early points for Max Robertson, and Frankfort wants to call a timeout. Coach Rick Schul not happy about the way that transpired. That is a 30-second timeout. We'll go ahead and keep it right here. Tonight's game brought to you by Day and Genda Funeral Home, where they believe in putting family first. As active members of the community, they know that when dealing with a loss, seeing a familiar face and being treated like family is important. Day and Genda Funeral Home will serve your family in a unique and loving way and provide the care you need. For more information about the services Day and Genda Funeral Home offers, go to dayandgenda.com. Well, Bill, obviously Frankfort's coaching staff didn't like that jump shot they gave up.
Well, I'll tell you what, if he played in the NBA, nobody would like it, because that was a mid-range contested pull-up to the shots that everybody in the NBA is getting away from.
Yeah.
So I think that's the one you could probably live with a little bit, to be honest. It's those inside-out, wide open threes that'll kill you.
Had to wipe some sweat up off the floor. Now we're ready to continue. Doug Wood inbounds. He's got 3. Kirby's got 5. Isaac Adams has 2. Alex Farley has 2 for the Frankfort scoring. Kirby on the drive, giving it up to Wood. Wood slashes and couldn't quite get the roll. Rebound put back up and got it from Jay Strode. So Jay Strode comes in off the bench and makes a nice play. 5 different Frankfort hot dogs have scored in this first quarter.
And they've played 8 already.
Jack Oldham just checked into the game for Tri-West. There's a 3 and knocked down by Ryan Miller. And Miller, a freshman. And that's another thing Coach Doan told me before the game. We might see our freshmen make a bit of an impact as they help force a turnover there. Frankfort's turned it over twice now. Drive by Dakin. There is Oldham for 3. And the rebound by Alex Farley. Frankfort looks to push for a second, shovels it off. Nice play to Strode, and Jay Strode has 4 quick points.
Great give and go right there. Good pass.
16-11, Frankfort. They took the lead at 5-4, and they have had it ever since. Driving, kicking is Sorgi to the corner for Kellen Dakin. Now here's Sorgi again. 3 by Miller. How about Ryan Miller? Both teams getting production off the bench. And then another drive by Kirby. That shot blocked by Ward. Tri-West can tie or take the lead. Sorgi lets it go. And the rebound by Doug Wood.
Again, that open 3 coming off really good controlled penetration on the baseline. A little bit of an overhelp.
Kirby backs it out. Farley. You know Frankfort, with how slow they like to be to get the right shot, they'd love to take the last one here. Strode working against Ward. Strode had it stripped out of his hands. It stays with Frankfort. This is where you want to have your best out of bounds play ready to go. Looks like Farley is the inbounder and has Sorgi right in front of him. Looking, got it into Strode. Strode against Ward again. Strode can't connect. Ward the rebound. They got 4 seconds, does Tri-West. Here's Oldham. Oldham with 2-1. Got it up in time, but left it short. Entertaining first quarter. Frankfort on top, 16-14. Second quarter comes your way next on the ISC Sports Network.
At Day and Genda Funeral Home, we know the importance of family. Being a family-owned funeral home, we pride ourselves in giving the care and love to you and your loved one as if you were part of our own family. With a compassionate staff that takes pride in fulfilling all the details to celebrate the life of your loved one in a unique and special way, you can be sure that your services will be meaningful and memorable. When you suffer loss in your family, let our family take care of your family. Day and Genda Funeral Home, putting family first.
Before we start the second quarter, we'll remind you that tonight's game brought to you in part by Pro Team Wellness. At Pro Team Wellness, we're changing how first responders, athletes, and adults access, receive, and participate in mental wellness by providing quality and effective care from culturally competent clinicians. If you need to talk to someone, talk to us. Learn more by visiting us at proteamwellness.com. Well, along with Bill Finland, I'm John Herrick. Bill, what were your impressions of that first quarter?
Well, John, looked like Frankfort had a lot of success driving the ball to the basket and posting against the defense, whereas Tri-West most success came inside-out threes, inside-out jump shots. But those are created off penetration as well. Both teams, only one turnover in the quarter. Both teams playing pretty clean basketball right now.
Alex Farley's got it for Frankfort. Trying to work his way inside, surrounded. Strode helps him out. And Strode with a nice move and scores over Ward. Jay Strode is a senior, and he is showing you why. Very savvy moves in the post.
They're lucky they didn't make their annual 3-second call right there, because they were both in there for a while.
Drew Miller trying to create. Finds Dakin, but did he step out? Yes, he did. And that is Tri-West's first mistake of the game on the turnover side. Sometimes when you work that baseline, it's like walking a tightrope.
There's not a lot of room down there.
Also, want to give a shout out. I know we've got a watch party going on from one of our Frankfort contacts. That one goes out of bounds. It stays with Frankfort. The Frankfort and the Eagles, Frankfort Eagles, are having a watch party. So big shout out to them. Thanks for tuning in to ISC.
One of our sponsors tonight.
Yep.
The Eagles Club.
And the drive by Kirby, he could not convert. Robertson, boy, is he quick.
Quick and athletic. Gets up off the deck a little bit.
And then Tri-West didn't get back fast enough, and Farley took advantage of that.
Right back at you.
Oldham, did he step on? Yes, he did. He stepped on the line, so 2 turnovers on Tri-West now.
Ooh, that's the one. You know, the touching the line on the baseline drive, you can live with that a little bit, but you're on the court, you get the ball thrown to you, but one of your feet is out of bounds. That you just can't have that. That's a turnover that just isn't a good one.
Hale pulls up on the dribble. Finds Wayne Scott. Wood decides to call the play. Now he gets the help finally from Wayne Scott. Down to Strode again. Strode gets doubled, is able to somehow keep his balance while on his knees and somehow not travel. 3 on the way by Doug Wood, his second one of the first half. He's got 6, and Frankfort's got their largest lead at 7. Dakin on the little give and go with Robertson. Dakin drive, draws the defense in. Miller, way short on that. Strode the rebound, and he one-hands it. Frankfort has the ball, the lead, and they are in control of this game as they try to get their first win of the season. Wood decides to be patient and finds Wayne Scott. It was a 4-2 lead for Tri-West, but then Frankfort took the lead at 5-4. They've had it ever since. As Strode couldn't get that one to go. Good defense by Ward. Leads to a break, and Jack Oldham able to score on that one. Frankfort coach Rick Schul didn't like that. Farley looking around for help, now finds it with Wood. This feels a lot like a game, Bill, where transition points are going to be hard to get.
Well, it looks like Tri-West wants to run a little bit. The thing about Frankfort's deliberate attack, it kind of takes the wind out of those sails a little bit. By the time you rebound the ball, you're just so happy to have it. You're not in a hurry to get down the floor with it.
Strode misses that 3, and then it was touched last, though, by Tri-West as they make a lot of substitutions here. They bring Jimmy Sorgi back out. They also bring Landon Gardner onto the floor. And Parker Anderson is in for the first time for the Bruins. And a long three goes in and out from Alex Farley. Well, that was contested, but you can see why he had confidence to shoot it, and he almost made it. Miller trying to create, dumps it down, and he finds Jimmy Sorgi for his first basket. 5 different players have scored for Tri-West now as they've got it to within 3.
Great cut by Sorgi out of the corner. And a good delivery of that pass.
Strode hands off to Doug Wood. Farley. And the rebound, though, to Wayne Scott. Wayne Scott with a putback, no. Fight for the rebound, and Anderson dug it out of there. Robertson on the move again. Kicking it out to Gardner, and Gardner ties the game up. A 7-0 run for Tri-West. That 7-point lead that Frankfort had is gone. Now the juice is back in this building. 3 by Wayne Scott. And the rebound controlled by Anderson. And Tri-West can get their first lead since very early in the first quarter. Not this time, as Gardner can't get it, but an offensive rebound, Anderson. Now driving Miller, and Miller scores.
Well, you can just tell that Gardner is a very confident shooter. He is looking for that shot, and his teammates are looking for him.
And we might have a stoppage of play because Doug Wood was tying his shoe. While we have a moment, let's give a shout out to the Frankfort Eagles, number 976, serving the community since 1905 with over 900 members locally. Frankfort Eagles offers something for everyone. For more information on who they are and what they do, visit FOE.com or stop by Frankfort Eagles at 408 North Main Street in Frankfort. Less than 3 minutes to go, second quarter. Tri-West has stormed back to take the lead. Frankfort trying to end the run. Farley got rid of it. Now it's Kirby who's got it. Kirby tries to drive. High shot, no, but Strode had an opportunity to put back, couldn't get it. Rebound knocked around, picked up by Landon Gardner. Tri-West on the move. Robertson, good ball movement. Now Miller a 3. And Strode the rebound for Frankfort.
You've seen that action over and over again where they kind of hit across the court to Kirby. Inside cut in front of him, and then he drives it right down the lane line, right off the passer's cut. And that seems to be an action that they really like to go to.
Farley to Wayne Scott. Now this is Carson Hale. New Frankfort player on, Lucas Wagner, who has the ball now. Strode again, Wagner fakes. Frankfort hasn't scored a basket in a while. Trying to change that. Strode right at Ward, and Ward able to alter the shot. Rebound by Robertson. Robertson in traffic, and he's fouled on the arm by Kai Kirby. And that is the first foul on Frankfort in the half, and it comes with 1:34 to play in the second quarter. As Isaac Adams is back up off the bench for Frankfort, he returns for Strode.
This is a remarkably clean game. 1 total foul, right?
For Frankfort and 1 for Tri-West.
I'm looking at the board.
There you go.
But board not accurate. But still, two total fouls and 2 total turnovers.
Yeah.
With 1:28 to go in the half.
There you go. Kirby hustles down there. 3 off the mark from Hale, but a rebound and a putback opportunity by Farley doesn't go. And Tri-West tries to take advantage. Sorgi. Nice pass to the corner. 3 knocked down by Landon Gardner. He's got 8 points for the Bruins.
Good pass by Sorgi after quite a Euro. That was a double Euro step, it looked like to me.
And the run is now 12-0 in favor of Tri-West. Wagner tries to save it and does. 50 seconds remaining. Frankfort's got some Timeouts to use if they want to use them. Doesn't look like it. Kirby, 30 seconds to go. They're definitely lining up something. It's picket fence time, maybe?
It's the old stack delay.
Okay.
Used to be popular about 15, 20 years ago, just to give the ball handler a little space. And they'll pop somebody out to get them a little relief.
Under 10 seconds.
But at some point, you got to try to score here.
Kirby gets a screen with 3 seconds. This is Farley, can't get the shot away. Tri-West defense, terrific to end that quarter. They outscored Frankfort in that period, 14-7. Before we go to break, let's remind you that tonight's game brought to you in part by the Coalition, the Healthy Communities of Clinton County. This coalition is committed to reducing the risk factors contributing to chronic disease, including health disparities by decreasing stigma and encouraging policy, system, and environmental changes. The vision of Healthy Communities is to make the healthy choice the easy choice. For more information, visit healthyclintoncounty.org. And now we'll have a message from our sponsors at Pro Team Wellness as we go to halftime on the ISC Sports Network.
Pro Team Tactical at first was a company about rehab. It was about getting at the point of injury to getting these men and women back to work.
We wanted to provide the same level of health care and access to firefighters that athletes are experiencing from middle school all the way to professional level.
We're getting our firefighters better care, and we're getting them back to what they signed up to do. They signed up to be firefighters.
We want to go to work. We don't want to be off. We don't want to be at home. We don't want to be sitting on the couch. We want to go to work.
They're getting seen quickly. They're getting the best care, the best equipment.
They built this beautiful facility out here at our IMPD Training Academy. When the officers come in here, we've got our brand and our logo everywhere. So their full focus, they're not sitting around waiting to engage with IMPD. They are immersed in IMPD and they are part of our family.
We plan on servicing all fire departments, all EMS, all police departments throughout the state of Indiana.
Finding affordable, quality reproductive health care isn't always easy. Did you know that there is now a family planning and reproductive health clinic in our area that is income-based? Services include Pap tests, breast cancer screenings, pregnancy tests, sexually transmitted infection and HIV testing, same-day birth control placement, filled prescriptions, and free condoms. Services are on an income-based sliding scale. Visit 1234 Rossville Avenue or call 659-6063 for more information or to schedule an appointment.
28-23 is your 28-23 is your halftime score at Tri-West. Along with Bill Finland, I'm John Herrick. Thank you for being with us. Been a good night for Tri-West already. The girls team beat Frankfort earlier, 62-20, and the boys team trying to do the same, trying to get their third win of the season. For Frankfort, they're trying to win their first game of the season. And Bill, what were your impressions of the first half? It felt like we had two different quarters in a way.
Yeah, I think that both teams had stretches where they were kind of getting what they wanted. The deliberate approach that Frankfort was taking was working, and then they just missed some easy shots later in the second quarter. And the penetration and kick is really working for Tri-West. So we're going to have to wait and see who's going to be able to kind of impose their style on the other guy here in the second half.
Don't forget, at Pro Team Wellness, we're changing how first responders, athletes, and adults access, receive, and participate in mental wellness by providing quality and effective care from culturally competent clinicians. If you need to talk to someone, talk to us and learn more by going to ProTeamWellness.com. Speaking of that, here's our halftime feature with Pro Team Wellness.
Our goal is to provide the best health care for the first responder community. Our motivation behind it was to provide the level of care that we received in professional athletics to these folks that are putting their lives at jeopardy.
Have athletic trainers who think outside the box, who are used to getting athletes back on the field, back on the court as quickly as possible.
When you look at the skill set that athletic trainers bring to the table, from initial injury assessment all the way through post-surgical rehabilitation, we really felt like we fit that bill.
Pro Team Tactical is a great partner in this process, and they really came up with a novel idea here. This is a unique way of approaching common injuries. And so I think that this is going to be an excellent way of treating the firefighter, saving money, and also getting the right access to care.
To me, firefighters are combat soldiers. Their physical fitness is what allows them to complete their job safely. Optimizing their physical fitness is what prevents injuries.
And we correlated that to them being a tactical athlete.
They train on their own, much like the traditional high school, college, or professional athletes, so that when they're on the job or in the game, they're going to be able to perform at their highest level.
First of all, let me say, we don't want to see them. We don't want them to get hurt. So if anything we can prevent, that's what we want to do. But if they do get hurt, we want to get them back to what they love to do as quickly as possible.
So a lot of the injuries are obviously joint, muscle, skeletal, shoulders, knees, back, neck, because of the physical demand and the weight of the equipment.
And there's a lot of opportunities for strains, sprains, especially with ankles, backs, as you're lifting, pulling.
Climbing up porch, climbing up stairs, climbing up ladders, all those things make it easier to twist knees, tweak shoulders, tweak backs.
We're dealing with swelling, we're dealing with pain, we're dealing with the anxiety of loss of time on the job. And that's something that's been a real motivator and is a real motivator for both the firefighters as well as us.
And the department benefits by keeping the firefighter on duty. And it's a peace of mind to us to know we have that option down here to get looked at and get taken care of and not have to try and hide something, and that we'll get taken care of correctly.
But it's not been as difficult mentally because it's fun, it's a good environment, it's good people, they're doing a lot of hands-on stuff. And I think the mental aspect of it is a huge thing for me.
Ability for them to have immediate access to our services has been critical. In the past, that procedure has been prolonged, not necessarily a good thing.
The previous model was we'd go to a clinic, you'd be written off work, you're off work for a couple shifts, so you can see a therapist, and you go to therapy, and for our profession, it didn't work for us.
And with that, there's time wasted, sometimes days off of work, sometimes the wrong test, many times way too much money spent in order to get that solution.
Guys wouldn't seek help because they were afraid they were going to get yanked off duty, and they figured they'd just deal with them themselves, or they were afraid of the consequences if they sought help, and we don't need to do that anymore.
So the access that the firefighters have to our services on a week-to-week, day-to-day, almost hour-to-hour basis. If there's an acute situation, a phone call later, and they're heading towards our facility.
They're obviously getting back to work a lot quicker. The time off has decreased. We're seeing a lot more people reporting injuries now because they know they can go somewhere, get treated, and prevent it from being a major injury, and then still be at the firehouse, not go off work. Even being down in the facility where you're getting treated, you're still around, you still get that camaraderie with your brothers and sisters.
I think Pro Team is top notch. They're doing exactly what we need. It's the highest quality of any therapy that we've seen. And that's really what, again, what we're after.
Excellent, well-dedicated individuals, experienced trainers, experienced leadership, and so it's working very well.
They're vested in caring about, our firefighters. They really want to help them.
I know that my patients, I don't have to worry about them because I know the quality of the therapy they're going to get here is, second to none.
Yeah, I think that this has been a big deal, and I think it's a big positive thing.
From a mental health standpoint, from a recovery standpoint, from a rehab standpoint, the feedback that we get is pretty incredible.
As a doctor and as Pro Team Tactical, we care, and that's what it comes down to. At the end of the day, have we made a difference for the firefighter?
At Day and Ginna Funeral Home, we know the importance of family. Being a family-owned funeral home, we pride ourselves in giving the care and love to you and your loved one as if you were part of our own family. with a compassionate staff that takes pride in fulfilling all the details to celebrate the life of your loved one in a unique and special way. You can be sure that your services will be meaningful and memorable. When you suffer loss in your family, let our family take care of your family. Dangana Funeral Home, putting family first.
Former WNBA star Katie Douglas Poe is now the owner of fitness franchises that help people get healthier and more active. And even though she comes from the world of elite athletics, Katie's favorite customers are the ones pursuing modest goals. We're proud to provide her with that same kind of personal support and individual attention to her finances, which is why, when it comes to her banking, Katie is a farmer. The Farmers Bank. Let's grow.
Let's take a look at some of the first half highlights. 28-23 the lead for Tri-West. For the Bruins, it was Max Robertson who you saw getting involved early, but then Frankfort got some big minutes from their post players, and Alex Farley, Jay Strode off the bench gave him 6 points. There you look at Landon Gardner. Gardner and Max Robertson lead all scorers with 8 points each for Tri-West. They were a big reason that Tri-West was able to erase a 7-point deficit and now lead by 5 at the half. Along with Bill Finland, I'm John Herrick. Thank you for being with us from Tri-West High School, home of the Bruins. And if you are Frankfort, Bill, I mean, there are some things you did well, but what do you got to do more of in the second half if you're going to find a way to get back on the high side of this
Well,
one?
I think you can't overhelp on the Tri-West penetration. So what I mean by that is when a guy drives it, if you're not going to take a charge, you can't be standing there staring at him. You have to work your way back out to your guy on the three-point line, because all of their jump shots have been off inside-out penetration. So that's an adjustment that I think Frankfort has got to make. On the offensive end, I'd like to see them get Mr. Kirby involved a little bit, because he's proven that he can score this year, and he just hasn't quite had the space to work with in the first half. So we'll see if they can get him going a little bit this half.
And if you are Tri-West, what adjustments do you think you need to make?
I think that the things they're doing are very solid. They probably want to get up and down the floor a little bit quicker if they can, because they do have a bunch of guys that could put it on the deck, get penetration, finish, and spit to their teammates for open jump shots, and you have a little better opportunity to do that before the defense is set.
Really cool moment at halftime. They let the little Tri-West kids come out. The third graders have a scrimmage, so that was pretty cool to see as well.
Some hoopers in the bunch, baby. They were getting after it a little bit.
Before we start the second half, we'll remind you that at the Farmers Bank, we like helping everyone grow, from business owners running multi-million-dollar companies to first-timers just opening a savings account. We draw on over 140 years of history to honor the principles of personal connection and individual attention that have been there since our founding in 1876. And that is why you don't have to be a farmer to be a farmer. Let's grow. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. See who Frankfort opts to go with to begin the second half. And it is not the starting five for them. It is Edwin Wainscott, Doug Wood, and they go with Jay Strode and Alex Farley, and then, of course, Kai Kirby. Let's see who Tri-West decides to counter with as they are still in their huddle, talking things over. They bring out Landon Gardner, Max Robertson, Wes Ward, also Drew Miller.
Wes Ward was really a factor in that first half, just changing shots. It made it a little harder for Frankfort to score when they did get to the rim. They've got to try to be a little more physical with him to get to the free throw line.
Fifth player, Jimmy Sorgi for Tri-West, as shot doesn't go down from Robertson. I think Sorgi was calling for it, saying he was open. I don't know if Robertson saw him. Three on the other side. Kirby can't connect. And the rebound, Wes Ward. Sorgi on the move. Hit from behind and fouled by Doug Wood. That's his first. I think he thought he had all ball based on his reaction to that.
Players never think they foul.
I know. Drew Miller inbounds.
If it was up to them, the game would go even faster because there'd never be any calls.
Miller tries to get it to the corner, and that pass not where he wanted it to be as Sorgi tried to get a hold of it, could not. Lead is 5 for Tri-West, and for Frankfort, you're going on about, I think, 7 minutes now without a basket. Remember, they were up 23-16, but then Tri-West closed the half on a 12-0 run to lead by 5. So how does Frankfort find some offense? Kirby. Travel.
So you kind of saw it right there, John. They ran somebody off a stagger on the other side of the court to give Kirby that whole side of the court to drive it, and he just lost his balance once he got in the lane.
Gardner picks it up, in trouble. Now Miller. Gardner shot fakes. Miller again for 3. Got it.
Good unselfish play right there. Turned down a good one for a great one.
And Miller.
That's winning basketball.
With the finger point to his teammate saying thank you very much. 15-0 run for Tri-West now. Wayne Scott. Kirby, they try with the weave, and I think Wood fell down. Now he gets back up. I think he's all right. Strode working on Ward again. Those two guys have gotten well acquainted in this game. The Tri-West defense has been so good.
I think you're right. You got to give them a lot of credit because Frankfort's giving them a lot of opportunity to break down, and they just haven't.
Their man-to-man defense has stayed true. Strode got a little bit of a seam on Ward and is able to end that Tri-West run.
Good possession for Frankfort.
And Strode leads Frankfort in scoring with 8. There's a drive by Gardner. Nice move, and he answers right back, and he leads all scorers, does Landon Gardner, with 10.
Again, that driving opportunity came off of a inside-out penetration by Robertson. Same thing we talked about at halftime.
Wood thought he saw his man open down there in Farley, but threw it away. On the other side, Robertson. He passes it up top and did not see the defender Farley cutting up, and Farley's fouled by Landon Gardner. That's his first. So both teams have picked up a foul here in the second half. Wood checks out, so does Kirby, as coach Rick Schul of Frankfort tries to find something that works in the lineup. Lucas Wagner comes back onto the floor for the Hot Dogs. He also brings in Carson Hale, and Hale's the one dribbling it up. Wayne Scott trying to create, tries to dump it to Strode, batted away by Gardner, and a steal for Tri-West. Up ahead, Sorgi, and it was touched last by Wayne Scott.
That was a case of he made a pass to what he wanted to be there, not what was actually there. You got to see it before you give that ball up.
Miller, nice strong take. It wouldn't go down for him though. Strode the rebound. Farley trying to use a Strode shield there, but Tri-West wasn't fooled by it. Hale gives to Wayne Scott. Hale again. Can't find what he wants. Man-to-man defense working well for Tri-West. Strode tries to get inside on it, could not. Frankfort fans thought there was contact, but no call, and it leads to a fast break opportunity and a layup for Drew Miller. And on the attack, Hale. Hale with a quick response for his first basket of the game.
Tri-West out and running, and then weren't running nearly as hard the other way to the defensive end as they just ran to the offensive end, and they had to pay with.
Nearly a backcourt violation, but Miller was able to save it. This is Gardner, but a rebound by Sorgi, and he threw it right to Wagner. Farley dribbles it up for Frankfort. They've only scored 4 points in the last Well, quarter and change. This is Wayne Scott looking around. Driving in, had a seam, then didn't, but closing it for a foul there. See what they call. It's on. It's on Landon Gardner, his second. This is only the 4th and 5th free throw attempts here for Frankfort.
They're going to need those free ones, especially since they're kind of insistent on shortening the game with these really long possessions that they're playing.
And well, I will say this for Frankfort, as a team, they are a perfect 5 of 5 at the line from this one. Tri-West has not gotten the line tonight. Robertson sends it over to Miller, and Ryan bobbled it for a second. Nice pass by Sorgi into Drew Miller. So you've got Drew and Ryan Miller out there, and then a foul on Frankfort inside, and I think this is on Strode.
Great look from Sorgi. That ball had eyes there.
And Miller has really come alive since the second quarter. Drew Miller has 7, make it 8.
He's got that nice lefty stroke, competing on both ends.
He's averaging 14 a game this year. He averaged 10 a game last year. So you're seeing the improvement in his scoring. And that gives him 9. And the lead is back to 8 for Tri-West. They led by 5 at half. That is Farley. Shot off the mark. And they say it was, well, I think I heard the referee say white and then point the, okay. He pointed Frankfort's way and now he's saying the other way.
He's like, well, he's like, these guys must know something I don't know. We must have to go this way.
Drew Miller met by Kirby. Wow, had it knocked out of the air by Hale, but then got it back. And
reloaded, not high percentage really.
Kirby got the move he wanted. So Kai Kirby with his first basket since the first half, but they don't get back in time defensively. So Jimmy Sorgi has 4. Lead is back to 8.
Gotta get back.
Frankfort's turned it over for the 6th time. That leads to another Sorgi bucket. So
this is a bad little stretch for Frankfort as their defensive transition has really broken down.
And a full timeout called here by Frankfort. We'll keep it here and remind you that tonight's game is brought to you by Aaron's Flooring, offering luxury vinyl plank carpet installation and more. Visit aaronsflooringllc.com for more information or call 765-601-4145 for a free quote. Along with Bill Finland, I'm John Herrick. Thank you for being with us and putting up with us two DePauw people. The former DePauw men's basketball coach, Bill Finland, with me. I, of course, a DePauw graduate. Great to be with you. You know, Bill, we've seen basketball in this area for a lot of years now. You as a coach, me as a broadcaster. What do you think of basketball in Frankfort, Tri-West, and?
Well, I think this is, you know, typical small school basketball. Mm-hmm. You know, not a lot of size, not a lot of huge guys out there.
Yep.
But a lot of dudes who like to play and like to compete and want to be part of the Indiana basketball tradition.
Yep.
Especially at the high school level. I will tell you, this little stretch by Frankfort, though. You know, the 3-point circles.
Yep.
Between those 3-point circles, you know what happens there?
What's that?
Nothing. Nothing happens there. So that's why, as a player, you got to get out. We used to call that the swamp. You got to get through the swamp as fast as you possibly can so you can get to the areas where things actually happen. And that really bit Frankfort that last minute and a half stretch. Got to get out of the swamp.
Jump shot. Edwin Wayne Scott got it to go down. Wayne Scott didn't score in the first half, has 4 here in the second half. Frankfort led by Jay Strode, who has 8. And then Kai Kirby right behind him with 7. For Tri-West, it is Landon Gardner leading the way with 10, and Drew Miller with 9. Also, Max Robertson has 8, but Frankfort's made him a focal point of their defense. They knew he was the leading scorer, and they wanted to keep him away from it. And a long 3 by Wes Ward off the mark. And it looks like we've got a foul on Tri-West on the rebound. And they get this one on Kellen Dakin, his first and team's third.
Not sure Wes is a three-point shooter for Tri-West, but he was wide open.
Yep.
Sometimes you just gotta test the waters a little bit.
Make the defense think about it. Less than a minute to play in the third quarter. Tri-West has turned this game in their favor. Can Frankfort get it back in theirs? Off-balance shot does not go down from Hale. Followed his shot, but there's Strode cleaning it up. He misses. He ends up getting it back thanks to Wayne Scott keeping it alive. Here's Kirby in traffic. Couldn't get it to go. There's Wayne Scott crashing the boards again. Now Frankfort, I think, saw the clock and realized maybe we can hold for the last shot here.
They could get a bucket right here to end the quarter. That would be really, really uplifting for the Hot Dogs, I think.
Especially since the lead got pushed to 10. It was a 5-point Tri-West lead at half. Got to start going now. Hale with 4. Hale dumping it down. Kirby's open. Got it right before the horn sounds. And that gives this Frankfort crowd something to cheer about.
I was about to say it was kind of like halftime where they waited a little too long to get into something, but they knew something I didn't know. Got a layup at the buzzer.
As we head to the fourth, it is 41-35 Tri-West. You're watching high school basketball on the IHSAA Sports Network.
Protein Tactical at first was a company about rehab. It was about getting the point of injury to getting these men and women back to work.
We wanted to provide the same level of health care and access to firefighters that athletes are experiencing from middle school all the way to professional level.
We're getting our firefighters better care, and we're getting them back to what they signed up to do. They signed up to be firefighters.
We want to go to work. We don't want to be off. We don't want to be at home. We don't want to be sitting on the couch. We want to go to work.
They're getting seen quickly. They're getting the best care, the best equipment.
They built this beautiful facility out here at our IMPD Training Academy. When the officers come in here, we've got our brand and our logo everywhere. So their full focus, they're not sitting around waiting to engage with IMPD. They are immersed in IMPD, and they are part of our family.
We plan on servicing all fire departments, all EMS, all police departments throughout the state of Indiana.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Pro Team Wellness. We're changing how first responders, athletes, and adults access, receive, and participate in mental wellness by providing quality and effective care from culturally competent clinicians. If you need to talk to someone, talk to us and learn more by going to proteamwellness.com. Along with Bill Finland, I'm John Herrick. Thank you for being with us on the IHSAA Sports Network tonight. Great matchup, Frankfort and Tri-West, and Frankfort clawing their way back into it with plays like that from Alex Farley. He's got 6. And down the other way, Oldham. He's in trouble and he turns it over. 5 turnovers on Tri-West now. Frankfort has things going their way again. This is the closest they've been since the end of the first half. They've led by as many as 7. Tri-West has led by as many as 10. Frankfort won this matchup last year in decisive fashion. But this game has been anything but a blowout. Both teams have made runs in it.
The Hot Dogs are going to have to get a little busy right here if Coach Schul's going to get that Gatorade bath for his first win at Frankfort.
3 does not go down from Ryan Miller. Wayne Scott on the other end had a good look at it, but just left it short. This time knocked down by Alex Farley. So Alex Farley gives Frankfort 2 big buckets to begin the fourth quarter, and he's got 10 to lead them in scoring now, and Frankfort is within 1 all of a sudden.
He's given them a big scoring lift this half.
This is Dakin to Miller. Now here's Oldham. Put a little too much on it, but Wes Ward found himself an early Christmas present, was able to put that back up and in for his first points. Landed right where he needed to be. 43-40, Tri-West. Farley, oh, you know, he thought about that three. Strode, getting it to Wayne Scott in the corner. Wayne Scott dumping it back to Strode. Out of bounds, thought it might have been, he's like, hey, maybe Ward touched it, but nope, did not. Goes down as a Frankfort turnover, their 7th of the game. And Tri-West brings back in to this one Landon Gardner. And they also put back Drew Miller into the contest. Wes Ward takes a seat.
Thought he had him on the screen and roll right there, but again, it's not what you want to see, it's what you do see.
And Tri-West gives that one right back. Farley on Robertson. Got it. Alex Farley, the 6-foot junior guard with quite the shot.
Drove it right to the front of the rim, played off 2 feet, right on balance, knocked that nice little righty floater in.
That one last touch by Frankfort, stays with Tri-West. Farley only had 4 points in the first half, and he's already got 7 here in the fourth quarter. My goodness. Miller loses it, but was he fouled? Looks like he was. But which,
I think
oh no, they're saying
he did the fouling. Once he lost it, he kind of came after it a little bit from behind. A little too physical right there.
So that is
a bit of a frustration play.
Yep, that's the second on him and the first on Tri-West in the fourth quarter. Farley again. I mean, he's feeling it, can't blame him. And the rebound by Parker Anderson. Robertson hasn't scored in a long time, lost it, got it back to Sorgi. Sorgi in trouble, he almost lost it, and what do we have? Timeout called by Jay Doan of Tri-West.
A little too much Keystone Cop stuff going on out there for Tri-West. They had to take a timeout.
Ardente Dental offers high-tech dentistry with a personal touch. Whether you're a brand new patient or you have been with us for years, we're here to serve you. Give us a call at 765-654-7222 or visit us online at ardentedental.com. Ardente Dental, we bring smiles to life. Along with Bill Finland, I'm John Herrick with you from Tri-West. And what do you think, Coach, that the Tri-West coach Jay Doan is saying to his team right now?
Well, he's trying to settle those guys down a little bit, right? I think they've got to come down and be sure they're going to get a shot on every possession. They've turned it over here a little bit in the fourth and given Frankfort a couple of extra opportunities, and now we're in a 1-point game, so you really can't afford to do that. So he's going to, hopefully they've got something dialed up here to run out of the timeout.
So all the scoring by Frankfort has come from Alex Farley. He's outscored Tri-West in this quarter 7-2. Robertson draws the double team. Kick out three, no, from Miller, but there is Robertson with the putback. Missed it that time, not that time though, as Robertson stays with it and scores. Gives him 10 for this one. Nearly stolen away. Farley keeps it, and he drives. He's commanding a lot of attention. Scoops it up. No.
Pivot. All of a sudden, it's him in the basket. Couldn't figure out how to weasel it in there.
And then he comes up with a steal here. Farley to the other side, and he lays it in.
Excellent job by Farley. He didn't get sucked in by Robertson's drive right there. He showed a little help, but then he was able to make that play on his way back to his assignment. Great defense.
4 minutes to play in quarter number 4. Robertson, Sorgi for three. What a rainbow that was. Jimmy Sorgi with 9 points. 7 of those coming here in the second half. Wood, or rather that was Kirby. We haven't seen Doug Wood actually in a while. Looked like he rolled his ankle up earlier. I don't see him on the Tri-West bench. Knows if we'll see him the rest of the game. Wayne Scott gives to Farley. There's Strode who gets it, and he's fouled from behind. Yeah, he just had Parker Anderson there beat position-wise.
I think Wood is at the scorer's table.
Okay, there he
come
is.
In.
That's why we couldn't see him. He was at the scorer's table.
He was laying completely prone on the floor in front of hiding from you, John.
There we go. Well, he can't hide now. Now he's in the game.
You could run, but you can't hide, Mr. Wood.
Wes Ward checks in as well for Tri-West. And Wood is the inbounder. He finds a slashing Strode, and Jay Strode continues to put together a nice game. He's got 10, and he pulls Frankfort back within 2.
Great cut right there, and good patience by Wood as the inbounder, waiting for that to open up.
They're trapped near the sideline. Miller and Robertson, it gets tipped out. Stays with Tri-West, though, as they catch a break there. And Robertson is the inbounder. He scored 6 points in the first quarter, but has been held to 4 ever since. Off-balance shot from Miller doesn't go. And Frankfort has a chance to tie or take the lead. They're looking for their first win of the season. Wood into Strode, there's the double. He gets out of it, throws it to Hale. Now Wayne Scott decides, let's just slow this up. Kirby finds a seam, left it short, got his own rebound, and I think he's tied up. Yes, great play there by Drew Miller to get his hands in, and the possession arrow favors Tri-West. And Alex Farley checks in as Kirby takes a seat.
Mr. Kirby not happy about that call. I think he thought he might have got fouled on the first attempt. The jump ball looked awfully clean.
Coming up on 2 minutes to go, slashing in, there's Robertson. Nice two-man game with him and Miller. Pushes that Tri-West lead back to 4. Strode, nifty move. Ward, though, not fooled this time, and he blocks it. Robertson hurries. Robertson scores. And Robertson's got 14.
Great take right there, coast to coast. Got all the way in, finished with the left. Excellent play.
And timeout is called by Frankfort, a full one, and we'll keep it right here as they take a look at that. There's the previous play, the jump ball.
Looked pretty clean to me.
And that was a huge call. I mean, you're talking about a moment in the game where if you're Frankfort, you might be able to tie it, but then you get the jump ball called and the other team has the arrow and you lose possession. That's a tough way to go. And don't forget, at Pro Team Wellness, we're changing how first responders, athletes, and adults access, receive, and participate in mental wellness by providing quality and effective care from culturally competent clinicians. If you need to talk to someone, talk to us and learn more by going to proteamwellness.com. That jump ball was just so consequential, I think, Coach, because you could tie the game there, and now all of a sudden it's been this way with Frankfort. They get down or have a chance to maybe tie it or take the lead. Boom, you blink, and Tri-West has it back to 6.
Game of inches, man.
Yep.
He had a chance to make the first one, didn't make it, and then it was a little off balance, and they got in there and tied him up, and I thought it was a good call.
Frankfort does have the ball here with 1:48 to play.
Yeah, if you're Frankfort, you're only going to get so many chances.
Right.
As deliberate as you've been, and it's probably time they need to be scoring on these next few possessions to put themselves in position here.
What better man to do it than the man who's had the ball, Farley, but he decides to pass it out of there. Wood almost had it poked free. He saved it, though. Now Wayne Scott with it. Frankfort's already used 18 seconds on this possession, and they're down 6. They need scores, and they need them quickly. Strode, double dribbles. Yep. Good defense by Ward. Helped force that, and Ward is fired up after that play.
he's had his hands full with Strode. That's been a pretty good matchup all night.
Frankfort trying to force turnovers here. What do we have? Oh, Hale thought for sure he was being pushed off on, but they call Carson Hale for that one. That is the first on him and the first in the quarter for Frankfort. Hale comes out. Kirby is back in. So Frankfort with a lot of fouls to give before they put Tri-West in the bonus. That one goes off the fingertips of Gardner. Well, that's exactly what you need if you're Frankfort.
If you're Tri-West, that is the last thing you want to do right there is turn it over and give them any kind of chance, because they were going to have to start playing the foul game right there.
Farley. Now this is Strode. Wood lets it fly. Got it! Doug Wood with his first basket since the second quarter, and Kirby is struggling as he hobbles over to the bench.
Can't even see him. He's down.
He was
on
under
the
the
other
basket.
side of the court. He was actually out here in the corner. I was looking at him, and it was a non-contact kind of thing. He just rolled his ankle.
So he comes to the sideline with less than a minute to play. And now, how long before Frankfort starts to foul? Miller gets it into Gardner, and Gardner was off balance and had to throw it away.
That was close because he saved it off his foot, but it almost went back and hit him.
Miller.
I don't think you got a lot of fouls to give. I don't think you can wait too long.
Robertson tries to hold it and just keep possession, and they end up turning it over again.
Wow, that's twice in the last two possessions. Inside of a minute to turn it over when you're kind of in control of things.
And a full timeout is taken by Frankfort with 38 seconds to go. We have a 30-second break, and we'll be back shortly on the ISC Sports Network.
Frankfort Eagles 976, serving with the community since 1905. With over 900 members locally, Frankfort Eagles offers something for everyone. Golf leagues, bingo, concerts, kid parties, cookouts, and more. For more information on who we are and what we do, visit FOE.com or stop by Frankfort Eagles at 408 North Main Street, Frankfort, Indiana.
Well, it is coming down to crunch time for Frankfort. They have the ball, and they have, let's see here, 2 timeouts left. Tri-West can use as many timeouts as they need as you take a look at the pep band, providing a great atmosphere for Tri-West. And Frankfort has trailed by double digits before. They fought back every time, and Bill, they got a chance to tie the game here.
Yeah, I don't think you need to go for a 3 right here. I think you just gotta get first available good shot, and then now the fact that they didn't start to play the foul game a little earlier could work against them a little bit.
Yep.
So they're going to have to go quick if they're not able to get the game tied on this possession.
Hale gets it into Wood. This is Farley. He's had the hot hand in the fourth quarter, but he is shadowed well by Sorgi. Strode commands a lot of attention. Farley, with 26 seconds, tries to drive, has an opening, and he's fouled by Sorgi. Now, again, that's only Sorgi's first, and it's only the team's third.
So that's what you're going to see Tri-West do now is, hey, when you start to put us in danger, we're going to foul you, right? So you're going to have to load it up all over again, and that's good coaching.
Wayne Scott receives the inbound. 20 seconds. Looking for Strode. It got tipped. Now the double comes. Farley with Sorgi not letting him go anywhere. 9 seconds. Farley pulls up. Now Woods got it.
Got to be 3. He made it. No.
Oh, he left it short. Rebounded by Sorgi.
Looked like it was down, John.
He did have a good line on it. And they call that foul on Strode. That of course, he has to foul. And then Tri-West decides to call a timeout here just to talk things over with 2.4 seconds to play. And why not? You just want to make sure you get the ball in bounds.
You want to make sure you don't turn it over like
Yeah.
they have the last 2 possessions to put themselves in this position. But and that's the message, right? You cannot turn it over. Well, Frankfort let that clock run all the way down where they didn't really have a choice. They had to shoot a 3. It would have been interesting to see them really drive it and try to get the 2, but it was not to be.
Are you I was pretty impressed with the way they took away Alex Farley on that possession, Tri-West. I mean, Farley comes out smoking in the 4th quarter, and every time Farley had the ball, Sorgi was on him and let him go nowhere.
And they were ready to foul.
Yep.
Because they had the fouls to give, and they were pretty well instructed to go ahead. If you're in any kind of danger, give them a whack, right?
Both teams still do have fouls to give, and they have timeouts.
Can't be messing around on this inbound pass if you're Tri-West. You got all kinds of timeouts, so if there's any kind of problem, you got to take one right here.
Robertson looking, yep, and he saw that and immediately called timeout.
No, he called a foul.
Oh, okay.
I thought they called a foul.
Well, he was calling timeout.
No,
who was?
Called a foul first before the timeout.
All right. So Doug Wood picks up his second, team's third. Frankfort's got everybody picked up man-to-man. Trying to get open, and it goes into the hands of Kellen Dakin with 1.1 seconds, but fouled by Kirby. So Kirby rolled his ankle and was in trouble earlier. He gets back out there. Inbound to Miller, and Drew Miller's fouled with 0.4 on the clock.
Got an honest, pretty honest Tri-West clock operator there, John.
Yeah.
You know, pretty quick with the on-off.
So Miller gets to shoot 2 now with his team in the penalty. All he's got to do is make 1, and this one's over. Couldn't get that one, though. These are just free throw attempts, 3 and 4 for Tri-West tonight, and Miller has taken all of them.
If he misses, 0.4 is enough time to throw one at the bucket.
Missed it, got it down. It's hooked up by Hale, and it's just off the mark. Good job by Carson Hale to at least pick it up and try to get it down there. And a valiant effort by Tri-West, but they come up short as they fall to 0-4 in a hard-fought game, and Tri-West improves to 3-1 on the year with a 52-49 win. Coach, your final thoughts on this one?
Fun game, man. I thought Frankfort battled the entire way. They had a plan, they stuck to it, and almost were able to figure out a way to steal that one at the end. But both teams are still working to figure out what their identity is going to be, and I think both these teams are going to have some fun this year and win some games.
Tri-West next up for them. They got a quick turnaround. They play at West Lafayette tomorrow afternoon, and Frankfort is also in action tomorrow. They play Northwestern at 7:30 in the evening. Tonight's game brought to you by Protein Wellness. We're changing how first responders, athletes, and adults receive and participate in mental wellness. For Bill Finland and the rest of the fantastic crew, led by Technical Director Vince Morellis, I'm John Herrick. You've been watching the ISC Sports Network.
Protein Tactical at first was a company about rehab. It was about getting the point of injury to getting these men and women back to work.
We wanted to provide the same level of health care and access to firefighters that athletes are experiencing from middle school all the way to professional level.
We're getting our firefighters better care, and we're getting them back to what they signed up to do. They signed up to be firefighters.
We want to go to work. We don't want to be off. We don't want to be at home. We don't want to be sitting on the couch. We want to go to work.
They're getting seen quickly. They're getting the best care, the best equipment.
They built this beautiful facility out here at our IMPD Training Academy. When the officers come in here, we've got our brand and our logo everywhere. So their full focus, they're not sitting around waiting to engage with IMPD. They are immersed in IMPD and they are part of our family.
We plan on servicing all fire departments, all EMS, all police departments throughout the state of Indiana.
Finding affordable, quality reproductive health care isn't always easy. Did you know that there is now a family planning and reproductive health clinic in our area that is income-based? Services include Pap tests, breast cancer screenings, pregnancy tests, sexually transmitted infection and HIV testing, same-day birth control placement, filled prescriptions, and free condoms. Services are on an income-based sliding scale. Visit 1234 Rossville Avenue or call 659-6063 for more information or to schedule an appointment.